Welcome to Sims Playhouse Presents the monthly build for August 2018, and we're looking at Beach Life Part 2. This is the floor plan that I used, my inspiration. I found it on Pinterest that I used to build this house, and we are at the point where I'm working on trying to find the ideal fireplace for this lot. If you did not check out the other video, please go ahead and check out part 1. That's where you see me work on the exterior, the layout, all that other good stuff. And I did start working on the kitchen. We still have to go back and do a little bit more work in the kitchen and actually decorate it, but right now I'm just spending some time trying to find the ideal fireplace and all of the 1,000,001 fireplaces that I have that are, yes, custom content. I have to admit, I believe I have just about 50 gigabytes worth of custom content in my game, and probably more by now. I download a gazillion each time I set out to actually do a download session. If you want to see what that kind of looks like, I also have another video in my CC shopping playlist, I believe it is, that you can check out. There's tons of footage of me just going through not buying. If I was buying, I would be broke. Custom content shopping, CC shopping. So you can check that out. I will certainly add it in the card so that you can find it. Get a quick link to it if you're interested in seeing that. My Tumblr blog is my Sims Playhouse Tumblr blog, which is simsplayhouse.tumblr.com. I'll also have that is also linked in that video. If you want to get half of the stuff that I use, just half or a quarter or all, you can just go and check that site out and you will see everything that I have and have accumulated over the years. My Tumblr blog, that is. But other than that, I want to just kind of share a little bit more information about, me and how I got into simming, because I think it's an interesting story. Everyone always asks the question, regardless of who you're talking to, what community you're in. Hey, how did you guys get into simming? Who introduced you to Sims? How old you were when you started simming? How long have you been simming? Well, for me, I was already an adult when I got introduced to Sims. As a matter of fact, I was already married when I got introduced to Sims. My husband, I love him dearly, and he is the fault. So all of the custom content you see, all of the building, all of the Sims, all of the everything that you see concerning me and simming, it's all his fault. If you want someone to blame him. If you want someone to thank, you can thank him too. That's my babe. I love him to death. But one day he went out. We had been married for probably about a year or so at this point. And he went out to the store to do some shopping, and he came back home and he was like, babe, I wanted to check this out. I used to play this before, but in a different version. At that time it was SimCity was what he played, the original SimCity. And he fell in love with SimCity and had lost his copy of it. And sorry, when he saw it was the complete collection of Sims 1. He saw it at the store and he brought it home. He's like, babe, you are gonna like this. I'm like, who plays, what grown up what adults plays computer games? And what is this, making people building houses, trying to play? I couldn't understand it at first. I promise you, I did not. But once he put it in and he started playing, my daughter was about 12, maybe 13 at that point. She was being homeschooled, and we had a laptop that she used for homeschooling. And we also had a desktop. And so she would be working on her school stuff on the laptop, but we had the game installed on the desktop. And he would sit there for a couple hours and, we would play. I would watch him play and I was like, this looks interesting. I just might like it. So guess what? I started playing. I will admit I was absolutely frustrated with pets because I couldn't stand the fact that you could barely control them. There were always flies on my lot once I had pets in my household. Then I couldn't stand when I did finally get rid of the pets. The flies that would still be there, or the strays that would constantly just come walking up on my lot. It absolutely annoyed me. So that, coupled with the fact that I did not care, I still do not care for witches and magic and vampires and all the lot, I tend to not play those expansions when they come out. I do end up getting them so that I have as complete a collection as possible, but I don't play those specific Sims and that type of stuff. I don't include those in my gameplay. Yeah. And I do that with no apologies. It's just my personal preference. So when Sims 2 came about, the one expansion pack I refused to get, there were two of them in fact, was the Supernatural, I think it was called, or whatever, and the pets. I absolutely refused to get pets. I was like, I'm not playing with pets. I don't want no cats, no dogs, none of that stuff. I was like, nope, not gonna do it, not gonna happen, leave me out of it. So, but guess what? The one thing I did do in Sims 1, I didn't know about cheats, y'all. This is like pre-Facebook. For some of you kids out there that don't understand or even know of a world without Facebook, this is pre-Facebook, okay? There were no simming communities. There was no, we didn't have all of these fancy things available to us to allow us to feel as one. Things like the Black Simmer community didn't exist, Tumblr didn't exist, Facebook didn't exist, Pinterest, all of these were non-factors. So I did not know about cheats. And the only custom content I had in my entire game, my husband stumbled on it, was the rejuvenation chamber, and that was what I used to get my Sims moods up. I literally would have 4 and 5 of those in each house, depending on how many Sims I had in the house, so that they would work all night long on building their skills, and then just hop in the rejuvenation chamber and go to work, go to school, whatever, come back home, hop in the chamber and go to work on their skills again, work on getting their friendships levels up and all these different things. But if I wanted more money, because I saw Sims out there in the games that had households with like 9,999,900. I mean, it was like, how do you do these things? I couldn't figure out how people was able to do that. So what we did, my version of a cheat, was to have your broke Sim marry a rich Sim. Even though you did have a family, you sent out one of your Sims to go do some reconnaissance, find a Sim that had a nice house, lots of money, you move that Sim in, get that one married to that person or whatever the case may be, kill the Sim that you don't need, the family, put them in the swimming pool without the ladder or, things like that. Put them in a room somewhere, lock them up in a room with no windows, no walls, no flooring, nothing, no needs, absolutely nothing, and let them starve, let Grim take care of that. But you brought your family in, and now you have a lot of money in a big house. I mean, who didn't do that? Wasn't that the way it was supposed to work? No? Oops, well, too bad. That's how I did it. But then in Sims 2, I learned about the little thing called, was it Kaching and Rosebud? I believe it was Rosebud in Sims 1. Eventually figured that out really late in the game. But Rosebud and Motherlode, those things came in handy. And of course we had the rejuvenation chamber. Still didn't know much about custom content outside of that, but I was getting a little bit better. But in Sims 2, like I said, I did not get pets because I was sick and tired of them from Sims 1. Okay, but we can fast forward to Sims 3, and I was excited when pets came out. Absolutely excited. I loved the open world concept. I loved casts, and the casts with the color wheel specifically in Sims 3. Oh, I was in love with that aspect. And even though building was not as easy, I did love the blueprints feature when they brought out blueprints. In Sims 3. But fast forward to Sims 4. Oh yeah, and in Sims 3, yes, I did discover custom content in Sims 3. I also discovered mods in Sims 3. It took me a while to get into mods. It took me a long time. I kept seeing some people talking about them and playing with them, and I was like, ooh, that looks good. I think I want to do that, but I didn't quite understand it. So I took some time, a lot of time. I did a lot of research. I got in touch. By this time, Sims on Facebook, you know, Facebook first of all became a thing, and simming communities became a thing on Facebook. And I, you know, started meeting people who was actually playing with mods and custom content, and I learned a lot. I can say without, you know, without a doubt, if you are new to Sims, the Facebook community is a really good place to get to meet other people and learn about this. In my group, Sims Playhouse on Facebook, it's pretty easy to find. It's literally type in Sims Playhouse on a search on Facebook, and we do a lot of, you know, tutorials and, you know, helping folks figure stuff out. We are a little family. Yes, a little family, you know, very family oriented. We look out for each other and we work to help each other all the time. By the way, quick distraction thing. These are little lights that show up in that light darkened areas in your home. They're in debug, but they don't show up as actual light fixtures. So if you find your homes, they have lights, but it's not as bright as you would like, especially when you're ready to take pictures. These little square thingies, and they have different shapes, lengths and sizes and light intensities. They work wonders to add extra light into your home without adding extra light fixtures. Okay, so like I said, that's in it. You can find it in your debug. But back to the story. I started learning. I did some research about mods, and I dove into the deep end. And yes, I used a lot of NRAS mods by T.W. Allen. Loved him, and I will admit, I was saddened when Sims 4 came out and he said he was not going to support Sims 4 mods. He was not going to create mods for Sims 4. I was saddened by that. However, we have so many more creators, mod creators, custom content creators in the Sims 4 that I could have even imagined. That even though I'm saddened that T.W. Allen did not continue to support Sims 4 mods, I'm glad that I was introduced, and I'm not as scared of mods now than I was before. I hate it when patch day comes, because almost every mod that you use, especially the ones that you really love, ends up broken, but it's a small price to pay to get the game to work how you want it. I mean, what can I say? But that's kind of like the long and short of how I got into, you know, the custom content and the modding and all of that. But here's the other part of the story, which is how my husband is to blame for even more of my simming addiction. Thanks to Facebook again, having been involved in several Facebook groups with regards to Sims and different cultures and a lot of trauma. If you have been playing Sims for any amount of time and been involved in any group or two, you will find some sort of drama in most of them. There was some that I was involved with, sort of, you know the admins or whatever. And sometimes, and this is like back in the day, where you could only have one admin in a group, and they would come and complain to a group of friends like, man, this is happening, and I wish we could figure out how to do this and how to stop that, and you know, all these little things would go on. And before long, I was being asked, by the time admins became a thing, like having multiple admins as opposed to just the founder of the group became a thing, I was being asked to come and co-admin a couple of groups on Facebook. Not all Sims groups, some of them were actually non-Sims related groups. But I would work with these people, work on them with co-adminning, and this one particular group I was invited in, worked with them for a while, and I don't know what happened, but on January 31st of 2014, I believe it was, or was it 15? I can't recall right now. I went to bed and I was still an admin of this group, and woke up on February 1st, and not only was I not an admin of that group anymore, but the other co-admin with me, we were both removed from the admin group. We were blocked from the group. We were blocked by the owner of the group. And we got some sort of cryptic message that we couldn't understand, first of all, what it meant and what was going on. And my husband was like, babe, you've been an admin, co-admin in a couple of the groups, and you see how things work. You see how well things work when you have certain things in place, and how not so well things don't work when you have certain other things in place, or you don't have certain other things in place. Why don't you just start your own group? I was like, I don't know. You think I should? I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if people are going to want to join my group. I don't know if I have anything to offer. I mean, I doubted myself. And my husband was like, babe, you can do this. You have the ability, you have the skill, you have the knowledge. You can do this, and you can create a group exactly the way you want it, with all the features that you want. You can set your rules. You can do this. So I called up old girl, my homegirl from the other group that we were both co-admins in, and that, mysteriously disappeared. I was like, hey, my husband thinks I should start another group, start my own group or whatnot. Do you think I should? And if you think I should and I do decide to do this, will you go in with me on it? Would you help me? And she was like, heck yeah, start your own group. We got this. We don't need, so-and-so and whatnot or whatever. And that's pretty much how Sims Playhouse, the group, got started. I mean, I already had a page on Facebook. I had a couple of blogs and, different versions of blogs and such that over the years. But that's how my Sims Playhouse Facebook group got started. And like I said, it's an intimate group. It's nice and quiet. It's pretty drama-free. We have certain rules in place and have had them in place from inception. That has been the driving force behind mitigating pretty much all the drama that could possibly go on in the group. So, it wasn't a big deal for us to do this. We started it, and we have had, I believe we may have had 3 or 4 minor incidences, but there's no drama in my group. It is absolutely drama-free. Any hint of drama is knocked out immediately. We do not entertain drama in our group. So this is a little invitation to you guys. Anyone out there looking for something to get into, a group to get involved in, if you would like to come and join our family, and yes, we do consider ourselves a family of Simmers that is all about sharing our game, sharing custom content, because we do love a lot of custom content, sharing a lot of clean memes, a very family-oriented, family-friendly group. Then feel free, look us up on Facebook, Sims Playhouse, the same name of the channel, Sims Playhouse. And we, like I said, we are just a nice, loving, happy family. We don't do drama. Drama is not allowed. If you want to bring the drama, you can just go ahead and forget to even try to come in. We will find you. We will find out that you're a drama maker, drama starter, and you will be removed. I mean, it's just that simple. We just don't tolerate the drama. But if you're looking for family, you want to have some fun, clean fun, because we do have children, we do have minors in the group, and so we try to keep everything as clean as possible. If you're interested, check us out. Another quick note, YouTube has started doing something called messaging within the YouTube channel and profiles. So it will be in the pinned comments. If you guys want to add me on YouTube Messenger, as it were, go ahead and add me there. I will have the link in the pinned comment of this message. And then all my videos will have that link there, so you can add me. And we can chat and share stuff right there as well through YouTube chat. So just, remember that, just kind of check it out. So you guys just saw me while I was rambling work on the living room and the dining room. And I'm about to start adding some doors, because clearly I don't have any doors in the house for the bedrooms and such. And I have to confess to you guys, I thought I had at least one more videos worth of building stuff to share with you guys. Unfortunately, when I thought I was recording that part, but I think I mentioned that in the first video, that I wasn't sure whether we'd get 3 or 4 videos out of this entire series. But this particular house, the build, when I was doing the basement and finishing the bedrooms and the decorations of the bedrooms, that for some reason did not record. I do apologize. I'm very upset about that, but you will see the end results. I do have the pictures of the end results, so we will get that in the videos. I promise you that much. But this is some of what I was going through, trying to get the bathrooms set up, the bedrooms, trying to just the finishing touches of what's going on in the lot at this point. I do every so often, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I'm searching for things, if I find something along the way that I think, I might like to use that later on at some point in the game, I tend to pull them out and put them in the room that I think I might use it in. Because it always happens without fail. When you're looking for the custom content that you need, you cannot find it. And when you're not looking for it, you can. And trust me, it's not always about custom content, I promise. Sometimes it's even about in-game stuff. When you're looking for it, you cannot find it. But when you don't actually need it, or you're not looking for it, it's there, it's showing up. And these pieces serve as some form of inspiration to me for the house that I'm working on, or for the room that I'm working on or about to work on. And I like my rooms, if not the entire house, to be themed. I like each room to have some sort of theme. I can do one house that literally has different themes, but each room has its own individual theme. Or I can do a house that the entire house is themed a specific way. So in this case, each room is themed differently, but it's also, I try to keep it as much as possible somewhat beachy or earthy, very, very natural wood tones and such. I try to keep it organic as much as possible. We are approaching the end of this video, but I have another one that's going to come out in another couple of days with the actual finished product. I know you guys are liking what we're doing, and I know you guys want to see us grow. So go ahead, hit that like, drop us a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you'll know when next I upload another video. Thank you for joining us at Sims Playhouse. Dag dag! If you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Dag dag!